Hello and welcome back to your Colby Eagles pregame show. It's week number 4. My name is Connor Shue, and I'm joined here by Colby Eagles head coach Ryan Mosier. Coach, how are we doing this week?
Hey, we're doing well. Kids responded after a tough loss last Friday, and so I'm excited to see them on the field now.
And we're going to sit with that one for a second here, unfortunately, but you come off a big win in week 2, and then you get one like that in week 3. How do you go about managing that, especially when you come off a big win to a bigger loss?
Well, you know, when you have 2 good weeks and you show up the 3rd week and you really struggle and lay an egg on an away trip, you know, there's some issues that need resolved as a team, and so we sat down Monday and got after it and did some more culture stuff, and I really think the kids bought in. I've liked their attitude about it, and it really showed up in practice this week. So we're ready to move on from last week after all that.
And as a coach, when you see your guys kind of buy back in like that, even after a game like that, it's got to feel good, right?
Yeah, definitely. It fires me up. And I told them every day, you know, these are the best practices we've had yet. And that's responding to adversity out of them. And so I'm really excited for them, and I think it'll pay off for them.
So we'll stay there for one more. So how was that film session?
Film session was okay. You know, we missed some stuff. We didn't sprint to our spots. We didn't do all the little things that we did those first 2 weeks. And so, you know, we highlighted it on film, not for very long, because it was time to flush it by the time we came Monday.
Yeah, so I'm sure you talked about working on the culture on Monday. I'm sure the guys were going pretty hard in practice this week, right?
Yeah, they really sold out, and their attitude and effort has been really good.
That's great. And were there any guys specifically in the team, maybe some vocal leaders, who stepped up and said, like, hey, like, we got to get it going?
You know, I think the thing I've noticed, the leaders that are normally the quiet guys, lead by example guys, those are the ones that stepped out of their comfort zone and started checking stuff. And so that's really helped us. And so our quiet guys got a little louder this week, and that was really exciting for us.
Is it cool for you to see guys get out of their shell like that?
Yeah, it is. I mean, at the end of the day, we're here to grow young men into great adults when they get out there into the world, and so we're really excited for them, and you know, they responded the right way, so hopefully that pays.
And now we'll take a look at this week. It really doesn't get much easier with Hugoton, a really solid team in the GWAC. What have you seen from them in film?
Listen, they love to run the ball. They love the option, man. So, you know, our schedule, you play a lot of different offenses, but you know, out of this Hugoton team, they like to get downhill, and so we've got to be ready to match the physicality of that.
And is physicality the big key to defending against a wishbone offense like that?
Yeah, physicality and just knowing your job and doing your job. You know, at the end of the day, that's the big thing. So, you know, we've done a really, really good job of that throughout the week and in practice, and so we want to see that show up Friday.
And what do the guys need to do out there on Friday to make that show up?
You know, they need to show up prepared, ready to play. You know, we don't have school that day, so it's going to be a little bit of an off day. But when they show up at 4:30, just like at homecoming, we have to be able to flip the switch and be ready to play. And the practices that we've had this week, I would expect nothing less out of them.
Sounds like you're confident. Got any final thoughts?
You know, final thoughts for me this week. You know, last week you caught me by surprise and I had nothing for you, right?
Yeah.
You know, final thoughts to me is this week I have seen a team that was really struggling come together and, you know, be there for one another and not just themselves. And so I really hope that gets shown on Friday night in a spotlight in front of the community. So I'm really excited.
Coach, thank you so much. That was Ryan Mosier here on 100.3 The Ride. Tune in for more on your Colby Eagles pregame show.